Hi, I'm Kelly. Hi, I'm Kelly. Hi, I'm Kelly. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is where I'll be sharing free video tutorials and interesting wire wrapping techniques. So hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments below if there's any techniques you would like me to cover. So check out my Etsy shop if you want to see my written tutorials. And thanks everybody. I shall see you there. So I'm using 2mm waxed polyester cord, and I'm going to show you how I tie my cords to be adjustable. So we're going to do some adjustable sliding knots, and I've got obviously the pieces I'm going to use, and I've got my cutters and my lighter. So we pop the cord through the piece. So my piece is hanging down there on the bottom of the cord. This piece is still attached to the roll. I'm going to fold this in half. And then I take the shorter piece around and around and around. And then we come back through the little loop that we made on the end. I'll go through there. There we are. So we pull this now, trap in the end. So that enables it to slide. And our pendant is still on that end of that cord. So then what we need to do is we need to work out the length that we want that to be. So between my fingers here and where the pendant sits on the bottom of the cord, I always measure 12 inches because I want my longest length to be 24. So I measure 12 inches. And then that will adjust down to 16 being your smallest size. So if you measure 12 inches from here to your pendant, you want 12 inches. So now we turn it around. So this cord is the one that's attached to the reel, and this is our marker for our 12-inch point. And from here we just need a little bit. So cut yourself off about 6 inches. And then bring it to the front. So this is my short end. And we're going to do another sliding knot. So we pinch it back, we make a loop. And then we hold that loop and we take this end around and around and around, and we bring it back through the loop, and at this point you pull these cords and it pulls that down, trapping your cord that you've just sent around. So it traps it through that loop there. That was the loop. So you're pulling on the loop cord, it traps it in there, and then that happily slides on the other wire. Cord. Have I been saying wire all this time? Do I keep calling them wires? I must just talk about wires all the time. So then all we need to do is we take this tail end and we cut it. I think I'm using my wire cutters as well. You can use scissors if you want to. And then we're going to burn this. Try without burning your nails. And then we want to flatten it down without burning your fingers. So it still slides happily on that cord. It's not a wire. I think it's because I just talk on videos about wires. I'm not really crazy, honestly. Look at this other one. Burn that. Melt it a little bit. Press that flat. Make sure that slides nicely. And then we've got 2 sliding knots. So the longest measurement will be your 24 inches, and if you slide it all the way across, the smallest measurement is about 16. And there's your 2 sliding knots. This is 2mm cord. I did this, or I do this, with a 1mm cord as well. So it's much thinner, it's much more delicate. And I thought this nice white cord would work with the silver pendant. And the knots end up being a lot smaller. You can see the difference there. So for your big heavy copper pieces, the 2mm is ideal. If you want something a bit more delicate, you could use 1mm. If you have a piece that has 2 points at the top that you have to attach to, this is my latest tutorial by the way, I've just done a tutorial on this piece. So if you need to attach to both of the top pieces separately, there are a couple of ways we can do this. The obvious one is to go straight through both hoops and tie it off. So it attaches like this, which does look nice. But we can do better than that. We can do something different to that. We can put a slider on each side. So I'm going to do the same sliding knots, and we will have, if I've got another piece over here, I can just explain to you before I actually tie it. So if we do a slider knot here, and then we bring the other end around, and we'll have to measure that. We do a slider knot on this side as well. Oh, get in. We have a much prettier way of it sitting at the top with the 2 cords coming out there. And you can slide the slider down to here if you want it nice and tied down. But I'll show you that anyway. So you're going to pop your cord through just the one. And I'm using 2mm cord, and we're going to do a sliding knot right here. So have your smaller piece, your short end at the front, and we're going to do the same knot we did before. You loop it over so it's next to the other one, and then you hold the loop at the top, and we go around and around and around, and we tie off, and then we pull the cords to pull the loop down, and we've got a sliding knot. And then this can go, when you shorten it, that will be right up at the back, and you will have this nice loop coming through. You can also put beads on your cord as well. You could put a bead through both cords and sit your bead at the bottom there. It'll look quite nice if you could find a bead with a larger hole there. Also go around lesser times for a smaller knot. So if we go back to the folded position there, and we go around and then post it through. we've got a smaller sliding knot there, which would work better with having the, let's turn it over, it would work better with this, because then you haven't got such chunky knots. So if we slide that down to the bottom, and we need to measure this, it needs to be 24 inches, and then we'll do the other side. Measure 24 inches, which is there, and then I need about 6 inches just to tie the knot. Cut that off, and you can use scissors, you don't have to use wire cutters. And then we take the cord through the other one, and we do our little slip knot there. So you got to make your loop. I'm going to not wrap around as many times. To go around and go around, and then we'll come back through the loop there. This goes perfect when I do it and I'm not videoing it. I can do it really quick, but when I'm videoing it, it won't go through. Go on, gotcha. Right, so I'm just going to wriggle the cord through. I was going to say wires again then, I got wires on the brain. You'll pull it tight and you wriggle it tight, and we've got a shorter version that slides. So it's up to you whether you want to do the shorter version or the bigger. I've always done the bigger knots, you know. I've always done the bigger knots, and I've always worn the cords with the bigger knots, so I know that they definitely don't come undone. But I can't see why that should come undone, because it's the same kind of knot principle. We burn the end, that should be fine. So you can use the smaller knot if you want to. So that should have a largest measurement now of 24, and if you wriggle it all the way down, it should go down to 16. So you can have anything in between those two sizes. We have the two cords there. Try and show you when it's done, so it looks nice and pretty, and it got a cord on both ends. There we are. So I just need to cut and burn these tail ends. I think that's it. Yeah, I really like how that sits with the two attached to the sides. So if you want to support me, head on over to Etsy and treat yourself to a written tutorial or two. I'm currently running a sale, so that's 15% off. So look after yourselves, and I will see you all soon. Bye for now. Bye.